Sir, let me open this up to other panelists also. Lalit Ambardar, the point that R.P. Singh was making, why don't Kashmiri Pandits also join them, make themselves party to this case? That's one part. And two, to what Mr. Bhan said, that this has nothing to do with the situation on the ground. What the Supreme Court is going into is the constitutionality of the abrogation of Article 370. Forget about जो ground में हो रहा है या जो नहीं हो रहा है. Lalit.
Zaka, first thing first. This Supreme Court is my court, people's court, India's court. It's not imperial court. We have a right to criticize the court with honor and dignity. Like this very Supreme Court, he threw away the Kashmiri Hindus' plea for justice. The application, the petition was thrown away, saying that it is already 32, so many years have passed by, where will you find a witness? Can you imagine? Survivors of genocide are seeking justice from the very Supreme Court of India, Honorable Supreme Court of India, and they deny us justice by saying, where will you find the witnesses? Can you imagine 1971, after 71 genocide in East Pakistan, even now, so many decades later, the perpetrators are being hanged in Bangladesh. And my court tells me after 32 years, where will you find the witnesses? That is number one. Number two, what do you expect from the people who exploited Article 370 to further the cause of Islamism in Kashmir? Article 3 says, what did you do? Can you imagine
the scenario
prior to 5th August 2019?
What Islamization of
No, one second. Mohit Bhan, one second, please. No, let's not do this. Mohit Bhan, no, one second. Lalit did not interrupt you. Lalit did not interrupt you when you spoke. Let him finish, and then I'll come back to you. You can rebut what he says, absolutely fine, but not while he's speaking. Yeah, Lalit.
Now, just imagine the scenario prior to this 5th August 2019. What was happening? Maharaja Hari Singh, he acceded the whole of Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh state to the Indian Union. What did we do? We allowed part of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh to be given to Pakistan. So part of it was given to Islamic Republic of Pakistan. Can you imagine a winning army? A marching army was asked to stop and halt, and we went to United Nations organization when my army was capable of liberating the whole of Pakistan-occupied Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh. Number two, what we did in Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh, we retained. We gave Article 370. It was for 70 years prior to 5th of August 2019, you had Jinnah's two-nation theory of supremacy and exclusivity of Islam prevailing in Kashmir. It was almost like a quasi-Islamic state within the secular state of India. And what did I see? It denied dignity to Valmikis. Can you imagine if I use the word, what a Valmiki community got citizenship certificate written on their profession. If I utter the word on this television now, I can be charged with SC/ST Act. That's how they were dehumanized. Number two, the refugees from Pakistan were denied their rights. Number three, discrimination was happening in Jammu and Ladakh. Number four, and most importantly, Kashmiri Hindus suffered genocide right under the watch of Indian secular constitution under Article 370. And what did it lead to further? Just a second. I want to tell you why they want Article 370 back, because it led to further fearlessness in Kashmir. PDP's self-rule. Can you imagine what he's asking for? The top on his agenda is to have joint control of Pakistan and India over Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh. Can you imagine? 5th August 2019, before that, if it would go with self-rule of PDP, you would have had, besides Kashmir flag, Indian flag and Pakistani flag flying on Secretariat of Jammu and Kashmir.
Okay, so let me Neelofar Masood is also there from the National Conference. Neelofar Masood, what the government is saying. One second, let me go to others also, please. The government used Section 3 of Article 370 to nullify it. The revocation needed a constitutional amendment. The constitutional amendment was passed in both houses of parliament, both in the Rajya Sabha as well as in the Lok Sabha. Section 3, according to the government, gave the president the power to revoke the article, which is what the president did on the 6th of August 2019. And the recommendation was, the revocation of Article 370 was after a constitutional amendment was passed in Parliament on recommendation from both the Rajya Sabha and the Lok Sabha. The president then revoked Article 370. What is wrong with this procedure?
Let me remind you, Jacob, about the Keshwanand Bharati's judgment, which says that the basic structure of the constitution cannot be changed. What has been done with the Article 370 is that it has been changed altogether. What we have seen that by way of the amendment, Constituent Assembly has been replaced with the Legislative Assembly, and the Legislative Assembly has been done away and said that it can be replaced by the governor. So when you are changing the whole structure of a provision of a law, which it goes to the root of the mandate of the law and the constitution itself.
No, but there was no
And the
legislative
legality-
assembly on the 5th of August 2019. The House was dissolved.
Yes, it was already dissolved, but you cannot replace legislative assembly with the governor's consent.
So if
It
there is
cannot be
no
done.
if there is no legislative assembly,
It
then
cannot
who
be
do,
done.
if there is no
And-
legislative
and
assembly, then who
Article
do you
370
consult?
Let me complete.
No, I want to know.
Complete.
I want to know what the matter.
What was the need to consult the governor? Why didn't you wait for the
No.
legislative assembly?
If there was no
to be
legislative
there for
assembly,
giving the consent
if
or
there was
not?
no
And
legislative assembly, then what replaces the legislative
Jacob,
assembly?
Just let me complete it.
Yeah.
Just let me complete. The communication, defense, and the external affairs has always been with the government of the India.
Okay.
By way the instrument of accession, defense was already with the government of India. So saying that Article 370 was there because of this reason, militancy was there because of this reason, people were being killed. It cannot be said like that. Because of the reason, defense was already like with the government of India.
So what explains, ma'am, then what explains the number of terrorist incidents coming down in the valley? What explains the number of stone pelting incidents coming down in the valley?
Can't you see the situation of the J&K today? What is the situation? There is no freedom of expression. Nobody is able to speak. Number one. Number two, we have seen target killing after a long 16 years. What about that?
No.
Why don't you
So
consider that? That has been
I'm
done.
asking
That
you the
has been
same
done
question,
after the
ma'am.
abrogation.
I'm asking you the
That has
same
been done
question.
after
I'm
the
asking you the same
abrogation.
question that I asked Mohit. What is your assessment of why militancy has come down? Why has the stone pelting incidents come down? Why has the terrorist incidents come down?
We appreciate the defense being taken by the government of India. It ought to have been taken prior to Article 370, abrogation of Article 370 also. But at the same time, what this Honorable Supreme Court has to see, this is the legality which is to be seen by the Honorable Court, not the progress or the normalcy.
RP saying, so
Say, for
what
example,
both the NC spokesperson and the PDP spokesperson are saying
I will
is
just
that...
put one question with your...
Okay.
I'll put one
10
question
seconds, yeah.
to all the learned panelists here, especially to Ambardar and RP Singh. Say, for example, tomorrow you kill somebody on the street, and tomorrow do you expect that the Honorable Court will say leave the accused because the family of the victim has learned to live? Normally, you cannot do that.
Okay. No,
What you actually need to
one
see is
second.
the
Let me
provision of the
go
law.
to RP Singh. RP Singh, no, the question, both Mohit Ban of the PDP and Neelofar Masood of the NC saying that two things. One, that you did not have, the Legislative Assembly needed to be consulted. There was no Legislative Assembly. You conveniently replaced the Legislative Assembly with the governor for purposes of revocation of Article 370. And the second thing that the petitioners are also contending is, even if you were to revoke Article 370, Parliament does not have the right to downgrade states into union territories, which happened along with the abrogation of 370. Jammu and Kashmir was made into a union territory as well. Respond.